Hey, it's Uncle Joe and Uncle Joe Hikes, and I'm up here on the road out of TateCity. I'm actually just over in the North Carolina side, and I'm gonna check out a trail called the Holden Cove Trail, I believe. And it just comes right off the road here, makes its way across this river, and then that way. But first, I got to get across here. So we're going to see what we can do. This trail goes up, I think, a white oak stomp, and that's right there where Chunky Gal, I think, comes in. So it'll be very interesting to see how this is. I've been told that it's cleared pretty good. So yeah, kind of looking forward to it. Supposedly it gets a little steep too, especially toward the end. So I say why that. Well, despite the fact that that looks shallow, it's not. I actually came across right here, and I'm wet. What are you gonna do? Keep walking. Now that we're across, we can move on up. Little cascade over there. We're making our way up what looks like an old logging road. Got some rhododendrons here. Long leaf rhododendrons. We may run into some of those shorties. I don't know. I think this is going to be par for the day. Lots of climbing. The trail's pretty easy to make out. Back there was beaten pretty good. You can see up ahead there. It's not the AT, but it works. The trail's a little bit growed over. Got a draw right here. You could tell somebody's done work because they've blocked up and built up that side of that wash there. We're in the SouthernAppalachians, I believe, here, and there's a chance we might see a bear. I don't know. This is a fairly remote area. We're kind of in between the road that dead ends up there at the Deep Gap Branch Trail and the AT, which is up on the ridge ahead of us. This creek is beautiful. It's dropping here and way on down. It's probably dropped down to the truck. It's probably a couple of 100 feet. It's a shame the trail don't get more use because it's so far, it's beautiful. The trail's starting to narrow here. We come through a choke point where another draw is coming from one side. Still passable, still navigable. It's beautiful though. There's a huge side slope over here to my right. Another to my left. So we're in a deep V here, making our way up this draw. It's no joke. It's not real steep yet, but it's definitely going up. Well, we've come to a stop here. I don't think the trail goes up through there. That's way too growed over. Looks like it comes right here and goes across the creek. Maybe that's it. That looks like a wash to me. That could be a trail. Such as it is. So yeah, you definitely come up this draw. It's not as hard as it looks. Plenty of steps to get up it. We can see that people have been coming through here. The camera's not going to do it justice, but trust me, that is a huge tree. Back at the far end, good 4 feet. maybe 5 across there. That's a big tree. We're working our way up this side slope, and it's got a couple of pretty steep sections in it. Whew. Something tells me there's probably a beautiful cascade right there below us, but can't really see it. Oh yeah, it's running from up here all the way down. Nice. Beautiful. Another beautiful cascade. We work our way up this draw. What I saw on the map, the ridge to our right is Little Kitchen's Ridge. This is Big Kitchen's Ridge to the left. Wow, you can see way on up yonder too. Even further back. I don't know where the trail is going to take us here. That way or that way. This came from down there. And working our way. You can see a lot of rock, especially back there. Precariously perched. More and more. It's a little further up from the last one. Just when you think this trail really can't go anywhere, it finds a way. I do not know where to go from here. My guess is back across the creek, because I don't see anything on this side. I'm thinking maybe like that. I don't know. It's not a good place to cross, that's for sure. So we did cross that creek, came up here and crossed this little creek. You really have to watch where it's been beaten out, because it does get a little hard to tell. As you can see, keep your eyes peeled, you'll see it. That's a little growed over. It just looks like there's nowhere for this trail to go, and yet it goes. Looks like it goes this way. It's real tempting to go across right there though, but this looks like it's got the foot traffic. Well, what do you reckon turned that over? My guess is a bear. Hopefully he's gone. You can see where water's come down, but this looks kind of churned up. It's kind of unusual looking. Almost looks like somebody's footprint there. And there. Well, that could be the heel of a bear, I don't know. I don't know why you'd be digging up stuff right there. Probably just water, but it's got a weird look to it. Usually water's gonna smooth out and there's nothing below it. I don't know. It's all these little ferns, short ferns. I don't know what variety those are. They're definitely different than these others, at least they look it. We're still heading up this draw. It's opened up pretty good right here. Not as good as back there, but looks like maybe somebody's done some bushwhacking through here. Up through here. Sorry, I turned to look because it looked like the trail took a little different path right there, but yeah, interesting. Well, we just came across all that. Like this is a runoff here. Thank goodness it's dry. Something's been digging around, it looks like right there. We may yet have a bear out in front of us given the rocks. The rock I saw turned over back there. Some of this other stuff. Who knows? Well, it's not exactly a cairn, or they're not exactly cairns, but they're not exactly not cairns. This doesn't bother me, but I know it probably bothers some people. It just is what it is. When I was sitting there taking a break, I didn't even realize something had turned this rock over. That's a couple of them it's been turned over. Clearly something's been going along the trail. Kind of forced myself to take a break. I should have took one earlier. Just because this is a gradual climb and you'll just cook your legs before you know it. From what I understand, when I start some switchbacks coming up, I saw a report that said the footing gets a little bit more sketchy, so I don't know. I just stop and not gonna stop and sketch anything. Well, right after I took that break, the trail hooked to the left, started up this side slope. Looks like we may be starting our switchbacks. You can see where something's been rooting around. I also just heard a low grunt, like a woo. But there's a plane going overhead, so maybe I heard, it didn't sound like the plane, but I guess it's possible it made some kind of noise. It didn't sound real close, but it didn't sound real far either. Hopefully with my talking, whatever it is I'm moving along, it's something to be concerned about. Anyway, moving on. You can hear the water coming out from those rocks. It's making its way down right here from underground. We're still on this first leg of what I believe to be a zigzag. My guess is we're going to hook back to the right at some point here. Don't know. Got a big old sassafras bush there. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned because we need to start hooking our way back to my right. So I don't know if I missed a turn or what. This is beaten out really well, so I don't know. We got to start hooking back around the other way because I believe this takes us up to that gap. We're downslope from Muskrat Shelter here somewhere. I don't remember the track in my head. I should have snapped a picture of it and then maybe I wouldn't feel this way. I have it on my iPad, but for whatever reason, it's not on my phone. Well, about the time I was getting really worried, I think we're going to be taking our right here. You can see where somebody's thrown some limbs down. There is a trail continuing on, but it looks like it hooks back this way. So thank goodness for that. That tree would be a good place for a trail marker, wouldn't it? Just saying. That's a big old clump of shrooms right there. You can see my trekking poles for size. I stopped right here because I got a whiff of something. I've only smelled a bear once, but that kind of reminded me of it. And keep my eyes peeled. I don't want to startle one, but it was just a brief second. Like, it could have easily just come up that draw, you know, a little puff of wind or something. He could be down yonder somewhere. Or it could be nothing. It could be my breath. Or my stinky shirt, or who knows. Well, of course, culvert's a sign this was an old logging road at some point. Most likely. And that explains the bench cut. Nice and open down there. Haven't seen any wildlife though. Like some really old scat right there. Look, I have some hair. So something ate something else. When it happens. Still some remnants of sassafras. You can see a lot of the leaves are beginning to change. It's into September here, but up here it's going to happen sooner, of course. And we got some ground cedar. Upward we go. Got some tin cans there. Got another one right there. Try and tell us we got to turn to the left here. I said I hadn't seen any wildlife. I really hadn't noticed any birds until now. Maybe it's because the sun came out, but there's quite a number of them over there. Well, we just hooked another. Looks like we're going back to the left again, maybe. Yeah. You have to kind of keep your eyes peeled for the path. We just came around here. It's a little hard to follow there. I do believe I'm on the track. Lots of hog sign. I mean, all over. Back there, down along that other slope. Taking a break. This particular section right here, this particular leg, it's really hard to follow. I can see where something has matted down the trail. I don't know if that's hogs running through here or somebody recently has, but this section is harder to follow. You can see behind me how growed over it is. Yeah, and it's still overgrown up through there, but you can barely make out a track, so hopefully this is it. I think at some point we're going to start doing some tighter zigzags to get up this side slope here beside me. Presumably that's when the trail will get a little bit more tenuous, according to the reports. Well, I took my iPad out. Thankfully I brought it with me. And it makes a nice backstop, really, in the backpack. So, for whatever reason, it's the one that's got the dotted line on it, and it's not showing up on my phone. But the good news is we're on the track. So we're fixing to make a right hand here, go up and around this double track beside us here, and then we should be heading up. I think we got 3 more points like this one, so 3 on this side, 2 on the other, and then we're going to start working our way over to White Oak Stomp, back over toward where Chunky Gal meets the AT. Somewhere right up this hillside, as I mentioned earlier, is muskrat shelter on the AT. We've stayed there. Well, I smell scat, like fresh scat. Something's been through here pretty recently, because I can still smell it, and I don't think it's me. I don't think it's me. It smells like poo. And so do you! No, I don't think so. Hey, bear. Could be a bear. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's real strong in here. Woo! If it's a bear, hopefully he's moving on. I can definitely smell it. Shoo-wee! You can see where hogs have been through here. And you can see where it's all masked down. The trail's really hard to see through some of this. But the hogs have at least beat a good bit of this down. So yeah, you can see, look at this. This is crazy. Lots of hog activity here. Some kind of old scat there. Some kind of old covert there. We're on that long piece now, I think. It's going to take us all the way over. Up under a white oak. And hopefully up to that gap. We have something right down there. See if I can see it. You know what it is? It's that water coming out of the culvert. Watch. From up here, it sure sounds like something either grunting or huffing and puffing. Get your attention when you're listening for stuff. It's like it all comes off this draw here. You can see way up yonder. Starting to get a little bit of a view through the trees, the other ridges. Somewhere over that way, standing Indian, that may be it there. This trail alternates between a lot of brush and not so much. But most of it through these zigzags is a lot of brush. About as close to bushwhacking as I really want to get, to be honest. We shouldn't be too far from the AT though. Maybe half a mile, quarter, I don't know. Lots of ground cedar, that's nice. There, mate, that's a big old feller. Thankfully, it looks like it's a little old. Yeah, something done broke this off. Probably him or her. Could have been a female. I mean, you know. We just made a hard turn here. This blowdown looked like the trail was just going to stop. This is an interesting tree though. He came down, just decided to keep on growing up. Like we're doing. Going up, up, up. Just kicked up a grouse. I'm assuming this is where the trail goes. Hard to follow in here. After all that slogging, you come through this. You can see back here how encroached it is. And then you come through this and it's just like butter. Right up here in this tree is a bear. Hey, buddy. You getting you plenty of acorns? You're good. I'm gonna get right out your way. Here we are on the AT. White oak stamp. I've been calling it stomp. Close enough. Yeah, for a moron. Well, okay. Anyway, white oak stamp. Here we are. And there's a bear. Not 50 yards in. That's funny. Let's walk on down to the chunky gal turnoff. Mr. Turnoff. Hopefully that'll give that bear time to come down out of that tree. Or he may just stay up there. Oh, they'll come down after me. He's getting him some acorns. I heard him dropping. And I looked up in that tree. I saw a limb just a shaking. I thought, well, that could be a squirrel. It was shaking awfully hard. But then I saw what looked like two hairy arms maybe reaching out. One and then the other. And I said, well, that's got to be a bear. And then when I got around to that other side, he was looking right down at me. Here's our turn off to Chunky Gal. Looks like it's going to be very similar shape to what I came up. So, yeah, that'll be a later in the fall kind of a thing. But I did want to come over and see it. Of course, I've been here before. It's just been some time ago since I did this section of the AT. Nice little spot. You can see out a little bit. Tired. I'm gonna work my way back to white oak stamp, and give me a break and start announcing myself to that bear so he got plenty of time to get out the way before I start heading down. There's a sign we saw the back of. It tells us this is the Holden Cove. There's a water trail right there. And right up in this tree over here is that bear. Hopefully he came down while I was gone. Or he's just being real quiet until I come by. We'll find out here directly. If he came down, he's down here on ground level with me, which is why I'm talking a lot. See if we can get past him. Yeah, you can see where he scooted up right here. I think he was right up there. Hopefully he's gone. Where you at, bear? Hopefully not down the trail in front of me. I'm trying to get out of your way. See if we can avoid each other. That sounds like a plan to me. Could easily be down ahead of me somewhere. This is a nice beaten out path, so I'm sure it's tempting to run down. If he feels like I'm following him, he might get ticked off and turn around. Say, hey man, what's your beef, man? You know, do I owe you money or something? I mean, come on. You don't owe me money, man. This is the way I was going. Well, I said we might see one in this area. I honestly thought we would have saw one earlier, but I'm not surprised. And that may have been what all the scent was. I smell some scat way down. Couldn't have been this bear, unless he was just out ahead of us by sheer coincidence. But yeah, that was exciting. At least he was up in the tree. Hopefully I don't find any on the trail at eye level. But you never know. This is an awfully encroached trail, so anyway, heading down. I just scared something else up. Two of them took off that way. I don't know if they were bear. They were awfully light, and my gut tells me they were probably hogs. Just based on the way they were grunting. And there were 2 of them, so they were about the same size, so it looked like a couple of hogs. They grunted really loud, and I said, hey, 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 and they just took off. They went straight up through that sun patch there. I thought I heard something else ahead of me reacting to them, which is also a possibility. So there could be some more over here, but I think it's hard to see through those woods what it was, but the way they were moving, I think it was hogs. Which I'm not surprised. I mean, I've seen nothing but hog sign all along these old forest beds. I mean, these forest road beds. I mean, it's just been chewed up. But yeah, luckily I was ready. I was prepared, having known that that bear was in this area and giving him a chance to get out ahead of me. And but I don't think that's what hit. That looked really light brown, and there were 2 of them. And so I'd be a little surprised. There could be 2 bears together like that, but it was kind of hard. You know, hogs are kind of unique in their grunt, but this was low and fat in the grunt. So I mean, it honestly could have gone either way. But they ain't gonna went that way. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we got to keep moving. Hopefully it won't scare up too much more. All morning there's been really no wildlife, and then all of a sudden it's wild kingdom up here. So back there where I saw that bear, I heard those acorns dropping, and I thought this could be a bear. And one reason being, I'd been watching my buddy Dylan prepare for his bear hunt, and in some of his videos he talks a lot about them getting up in the white oaks and getting those acorns and all the sign that he looks for and all that. So when I heard the acorns dropping, I thought that could be a bear. And I looked up and I thought, well, let's be real, Joe, it could also be a squirrel. And when that limb was moving that hard, I'm like, man, that'd be an awfully big squirrel. And it was a bear, which was really cool. It was a pleasant surprise, and thankfully at a distance that we were not going to do each other any harm, so that's good. And this whole area in the southern Nantahala, which I think is what we're in, I think is a bear sanctuary. So there's not much in the way of hunting in here as I understand it. But trying to get the sun away from you there. But yeah, he's doing his thing, trying to fatten up. Got back to our tin cans. At least went over on the right track. This trail has a lot of personality to it. I mean, you know, you got this old road bed here. Once you start the switchbacks, really. But down on the, really down at the bottom down there, it's like a jungle, man. It really is, like a rainforest. By the way, you can notice I switched over. My hat was just soaked. It's not hot at all today. In fact, only now is it probably even getting close to 70. It was nice and cool on the way up, but it was humid, so I did a lot of sweating. Hat pretty much soaked. So switched over to this, and going down, hopefully I won't sweat quite as much. I'm not working as hard. But yeah, once we come off of this, we'll drop down into those washes, and then we'll just be like steep descent and rainforest kind of, and next thing you know, we'll be at that creek crossing where we're bound to get our feet wet. Looking forward to that. But I'm back at Old Gobi. Anyway, sun's out, which is nice. We keep moving along. Well, we're back at our tree rocks, or tree cairns, or whatever you want to call them. It's amazing the difference. It was kind of cloudy this morning when we were here, or a few hours ago. Now it's kind of sunny and nice. Take me a break. Take a little break. Make a little love. Won't be making any love. We will be taking a break. That was really nice. I didn't like all of the semi-bushwhacking because I'm not crazy about bushwhacking, but this trail could use a little love. But it's nice. Get up there to the AT. Got to walk over to Chunky Gal. Got to see a bear. Scared a couple of hogs. I think those were hogs. Oh no, rather eventful day. We got to get down from here though. We got to go through that jungle down there. Got a lot of descending to do from here. As much as we've come down, we still got a long way to go down into those gullies. Gotta get to it. I gotta get through that. Get across that creek. Yeah, Captain Obvious. All right, we're back at our creek crossing here. Gotta scamper our way over. A little flume right there. This is a steep descent right here. My knees, especially my right ones, not liking this. We got a lot of descending to do though. We got to get all the way down to the bottom at the road, so we're still a good ways up. A little waterfall from earlier. We're closing in on Old Gobi. Make our way down this double track here, or this wide path. You can see the road over there, so we know we're getting close. So close and yet so far. And that's all right. There's Old Gobi. Hopefully nobody broke in and got my 64 count Crayola box with the sharpener on it. That sharpener always comes in handy. Holden Cove Trail done. That's a bit of a slog. I'll put the actual mileage down below. I know the steps are pretty high just because you're doing so much climbing going up. Plus we added that trip out to the Chunky Gal terminus too. Probably quarter mile we added out and back. But yeah, it was a good trail. You know, it's as close to bushwhacking as I really ever want to do, but you know, it needs some love and needs some traffic. So I think you should come out and do it if you're thinking about it. Wait till the leaves are down. It'll be a little easier to follow. But man, you follow that creek all the way up and it drops so much that those cascades just look gorgeous, and it's just riddled with them going up and down. Really, really nice. But yeah, it was nice. Got to see a bear, kicked up what I think was a couple of hogs and a grouse. So all things considered, that was a good hike. Really good hike. And now I'm tired. I got to go back to my campsite, put my tent up, and then get out of here.